Subscribe for the best draft content on YouTube. Not only are we going to be live for all 7 rounds of the 2023 NFL Draft, but we get the picks before you see them on TV. Let us show you why we've been the #1 most watched draft show on YouTube for the last 5 years. Hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, because if anything wild happens around the NFL, Chat Sports is going to be giving you the info first. What's going on? You're watching NFL Daily. Mitchell Renz here from Chat Sports. Ready to go through the 2023 NFL Draft order for the first round. I have done this show a few times in my time here at Chat Sports. This one's a little bit different because usually there's 32 picks. This year there's only 31 picks in the first round. Thanks, Miami. So before we show you all 31 picks, who are some of the teams that don't have a first-rounder? You got the Browns and the Broncos. They traded for Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson. Los Angeles Rams, no first-rounder there. The Miami Dolphins, they got in trouble. And the San Francisco 49ers. Those are your 5 teams that do not have a pick in the first round. As it stands right now, the Chicago Bears, they're on the clock with the #1 overall pick. So my question to you is this. Who's going to be the #1 overall guy? I mean, a lot of times you see QBs, maybe like a Bryce Young, a CJ Stroud. I know there's a lot of scouts out there that like Will Levis, but they already have Justin Fields. Could they potentially trade out of it? A lot of different questions. So before we get into all the picks, let me know, look into that crystal ball, who's going to be the #1 overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft. At #1, like I stated, the Chicago Bears. I actually think that they are a few pieces away. If it was up to me, I would trade back. One team that's very intriguing, what they're going to do is at #2, the Houston Texans. They hired DeMeco Ryans. Love him as a head coach. To me, though, he's a defensive-minded dude. Do you want a defensive-minded head coach taking a quarterback early on? A lot of question marks around what Houston's going to do with that #2 pick. At #3, the Arizona Cardinals. They're not going to have Kyler Murray for the beginning part of the season. Do they decide to trade back, get even more picks? Arizona, another team. Hey, what are they going to do? Let's go Indianapolis at 4. This has always been a team that's been aggressive in getting a QB. If you were to ask me, Mitch, what's the #1 team that could trade up to the #1 pick? I believe it would be Indy jumping their division rival, the Houston Texans. At #5, it's the Seattle Seahawks, and they got this pick from the Russell Wilson trade. And realistically, when that trade went down, I was like, man, this is a big win for Denver. They got their franchise quarterback. Shout out to Seattle for having a hell of a year. At #6, this one is from the Rams. It's the Detroit Lions. I love what this organization has done. They are a hard-nosed football team. You saw it on Hard Knocks. They play for Dan Campbell. And the fact that they beat the Green Bay Packers to finish their season and they have a top 6 pick, Detroit's going to be a sneaky team to look out for next season. At #7, it's the Las Vegas Raiders. Are they going to take a quarterback? They're going to be moving on from Derek Carr. Will they trade for somebody like Rodgers? They need defense. They need offensive line. After a year where they made the playoffs, falling all the way to 6-11, Josh McDaniels and Dave Ziegler need to hit a first-round pick because the Raiders, it's been a long time since a first-round pick has worked for them. At #8, you got the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons, to me, are a team that really need to bolster that defense. I'm curious what they think of either Mariota or Desmond Ridder. The NFC South, it's weak right now. And if you think that you're a quarterback away, do they try to get another QB? If it was up to me, I would really concentrate on the defense, especially in the secondary. At #9, the Carolina Panthers. They've been searching for a quarterback, which seems like an eternity, whether that be Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold. At #9, though, it's kind of an interesting spot because I forecast that both CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, going to be gone. Could they look at a guy like Will Levis? Maybe Anthony Richardson. A lot of question marks, especially at the QB position. The Philadelphia Eagles. At #10 here from the New Orleans Saints. They lost in Super Bowl 57. It was a hell of a game. I am obviously very upset that it ended the way that it did. But Philadelphia, having the team that they do, they have a lot of questions in terms of free agency, who you're going to bring back, who you're not going to bring back. But we got to be able to face the facts. This is one of the best teams in the NFL, and they have a top 10 pick. You got to tip your cap to Howie Roseman. Now, today's show, y'all, is presented by LinkedIn. If you haven't already, you can post your job for free at linkedin.com/NFL Daily Chat Sports. That's how I found us here, so I love LinkedIn very much. These days, Finding a new potential hire can feel like a high-stakes wager for your small business. You want to be 100% certain that you have access to the best qualified candidates available. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the right people for your team faster and for free. Simple tools like screening questions make it easy to focus on candidates with the right skills and experience. You can quickly prioritize who you'd like to interview and hire. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find qualified candidates that you want to faster. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/NFL Daily. That's linkedin.com/NFL Daily to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. I also am going to be nice enough. We're going to put those links for you guys in the comments and in the description of the video. Chat Sports, I remember when I first started here, there was a time where there was 4 of us, and now we got over 20 people, different YouTube channels, and if it wasn't for LinkedIn, I wouldn't be here, and if you're a small business owner, trust them to help get your business started and going in the right direction. Let's go to number 11 here. You got the Tennessee Titans. There's been rumors that they could move on from Ryan Tannehill. They are the best team in their division. They have a great running back. They still need to build up on the defense a little bit. They're coming in here, though, at 11. Number 12, 2 picks in the top 12. It's the Houston Texans. I am unbelievably curious what DeMeco Ryans is going to be able to do in his 6 years there. I think that he is a phenomenal head coach. I hope they give him the time that he deserves. And Houston, I do think, is going in the right direction. Number 13 is the New York Jets. They have been linked to just about every single quarterback out there on the open market. New York is a very sneaky team to potentially trade up or get rid of that number 1 pick that they have here at 13 by going out and potentially getting a quarterback. At number 14, their division rival, the New England Patriots. They're in some uncharted territory over the past few years. Go figure. You lose Tom Brady and Bill Belichick without Brady. I don't know. Maybe he's just an average coach. I'm kidding. Number 15, it's the Green Bay Packers, another team that's very much up in flux. You've heard Aaron Rodgers say that he does not want to be around a rebuild. He's getting ready to enter his darkness retreat today, where he's going to be in darkness for about, I don't know, the next 4 days. I don't know what that looks like. I just know it's probably pretty black in there. So will Aaron Rodgers get traded? Type T for trade, or you can type your P for pass. There's going to be multiple teams out there interested in him. The Jets have already reached out. The Raiders are a team that's interested. Bottom line is, if you think that you can add a 4-time NFL MVP and you need a quarterback, you'd be dumb not to at least pick up the phone and give the Packers a call. At number 16, it's the Washington Commanders. They are coming off a season that I actually thought the NFC East was going to be one of the worst divisions. And it just shows you how quick the NFL can change. They're the bottom feeder in that division. They need to get something going really, really quickly. At 17, it's the Pittsburgh Steelers. This team, to me, always needs to focus on defense. I like Kenny Pickett. They took him in the first round at number 20 last season. Build around Najee. Get back to playing hard-nosed football with that D. At 18, again, it's the Detroit Lions here. 2 picks in the top 18. Dan Campbell. How is he going to continue to build that defense? Because the offense, to me, is good. I'm actually surprised of my confidence level in an offense ran by Jared Goff. It just looks like a good fit there. But if that defense is as bad as what it was last season, that's not going to matter. At 19, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. How do you move on from Tom Brady? How do you move on from the greatest quarterback of all time? This is a team that's coming off an 8-9 season. They still won their division. A lot of big-time players to fill a lot of holes. Giggity. But we got to be able to face the facts here. If you don't trust your quarterback, I don't trust Kyle Trask. What do they do in free agency? We'll see what they do in the draft. At 20, the Seattle Seahawks. Do they bring back Geno Smith? I think that he deserves it. I don't know what type of contract he's going to get, 3 years, $100 million, but then you got a good running game. I would say you got to bolster your offensive line a little bit, add to your secondary. Seattle, they're definitely going in the right direction. They made a lot of key picks last season. At number 21, it's the Los Angeles Chargers. I forecast them giving Justin Herbert a $50 million contract per year. You could see them move on from dudes like Keenan Allen, Khalil Mack. They're not going to have enough money to bring back some of these star-studded players. And to me, if you're going to invest that much money in your quarterback, maybe you need to get him some skill position guys as well, especially if you're moving on from Keenan. 22, it's the Baltimore Ravens. They're projected to franchise tag Lamar Jackson. Does Lamar actually want that to happen? But I do know Baltimore, year in and year out, always seems to knock the draft out of the park, which is what I expect them to do again this season. At 23, it's the Minnesota Vikings. The offense, to me, is set, even though there's some people in our office that think Dalvin Cook stinks. I'm not going to say that. I think, though, from the defensive side of the football, cornerback, defensive tackle, defense is what Minnesota needs to do. 24, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Go figure, you get rid of Urban Meyer and you start going in the right direction. Love the hire of Doug Peterson. I do think Trevor Lawrence is starting to come into his own. I mean, he was regarded as one of the best quarterback prospects since Andrew Luck. He's getting better and better and better. They got a good team there. The defense is stout. Jacksonville is going to be one of those teams that are coming out of this free agency period, coming out of the draft, where you could look at them on paper and be like, they are a really legit football team. I don't know about y'all, man. I know I'm excited for the draft, but I know my guy Tom Downey, he probably hasn't slept since the last year's draft. It could be because he's a new dad. Shout out to him. But if you're excited for the NFL draft, the more likes that we get, the more draft content we're going to be able to do. I know this is a weird thing to say out loud, but believe it or not, this is my job. When my bosses look at this video and they say, oh, wow, it's got some views on it. Oh, wow, it's got some likes on it. I guess we should do more draft content. That's what they look at. So let's get some likes on this bad boy because I'm excited to do more draft content. At 25, it's the New York Giants. Daniel Jones, I do think that they give him some sort of contract extension. I project 3 years, somewhere around $100 million. But realistically, what Brian Daboll was able to do with this roster, it's an average roster. If you can get Daniel Jones some more skill position players, because the fact that he put the numbers up that he did with those wide receivers is a bit of a joke. I still think they obviously need to add to the defense. But the NFC East, if you want to take down Jalen Hurts, you want to take down Dak Prescott, hey, you need to be able to get after the quarterback. Speaking of Dak, it's the Dallas Cowboys. We'll see what they end up doing. They have some needs, but I really think they're in a good spot. Their biggest question mark to me is what they do with Ezekiel Elliott. What do they bring back a guy like Tony Pollard? Free agency is going to dictate, I think, what Dallas does in the draft. At 27, it's the Buffalo Bills. A little bit of a letdown season, if I'm being honest. They were my Super Bowl pick. I thought that they were going to have a better year. If Josh Allen is going to play reckless, which, don't get me wrong, I love watching Josh Allen play, but if he's going to be as reckless as what he is, they need to start being able to force a little bit more turnovers. Do they bring back Tremaine Evans? Their linebacker unit, not that strong without him. Let's go to 28, the Cincinnati Bengals. You would have thought the amount of money that this team invested in the offensive line last offseason, Joe Burrow wouldn't get hit. Well, he still got hit, and I just think you're probably going to give Burrow a $50 million contract this offseason. At least I would. I'm just throwing money at the offensive line. I might throw some draft picks there, but the Bengals are a few picks away from being great. Could they look at a running back? There's some rumors that they can move on from Mixon. The Bengals, good spot, though. 29, it's the New Orleans Saints, and this one has been traded. I think it's from the 49ers, but it's been traded so many times now. Miami, back and forth. The Saints, though, got pick number 29, and this is from the trade that they did giving away Sean Payton to the Broncos. Let's go to number 30, Philadelphia Eagles. Another first-round pick here. Lost a heartbreaker 38-35 to the Kansas City Chiefs, which means the final team, it's Kansas City. I mean, you got the best quarterback on the planet. You got a great head coach in Andy Reid. Believe me, I did think that the final call was a little ticky-tacky, but at the end of the day, you had the two best teams in the NFL. People are upset because we wanted the ending that we wanted. Yeah, it didn't go the way that it went, but Kansas City's the best team in the world, and the fact that they were an underdog, hey, you got to tip your cap to Mahomes and Kansas City. So what do you think here? Who's going to be in the Super Bowl next year? I know it's early. Super Bowl 57 just ended. Next year's Super Bowl is going to be in Las Vegas. Put your chips on the table right now. Let me know who's representing the AFC and who's representing the NFC. We appreciate so much that you tuned in to today's early Monday show. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. And remember, Chat Sports is always going to keep you guys up to date, especially around the NFL draft. So if you enjoyed this video, I think you're going to enjoy some other stuff that we do. Hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you later.